Alright guys, so regarding the factory reversing camera, which you will have, once you unplug the top LCD screen, you will have 3 plugs up there, or 2 or 3. One of the plugs, the smallest plug, you will have it just like that. So if you pay good attention to it, holding it towards myself, that the clip is towards myself, the actual plug is towards myself, and then on top, the first one is your power. That's the red, power for the camera, negative, power for the camera, and the yellow is your video. Now what we're going to need is one of these RCA plugs with just like that. So the one end goes to our car DVD, to the unit, the new unit, and the other end, which is that side, is just a small wire which has nothing else but 3 wires inside. We strip it down just like that. So there is 3 wires. So if you follow the same color, yellow to yellow, red to red, and black to black, then you're perfectly fine. That's all you gotta do. Make sure, guys, please make sure you put some iron, hot plate iron or whatever you call that, to solder them in the correct spot so that they don't move or don't get loose and don't just give you that flickering on the screen. So yeah, but if you do not have access to any soldering unit at the time, yes, you can strip it and just sort of make sure that you just do it quite long, so you can just go a longer distance and just put a really nice and easy tape on it, and then just make sure that you keep them separate from each other. Do not, once you finish the taping, do not put them all together and then tape it. That will cause a bit of interference, so just keep them always separate. Here we go, one more view of this. We've done that and put some soldering on it. So as you can see, yellow to yellow, black to black, red to red. I hope you don't mix them up, and yes, it works. If it doesn't work for you guys, it means you've done something wrong, you've connected something wrong. So pay attention please. So number 1 is the red, number 2 is the black, number 3 is the brown, which we're ignoring it, we're not putting anything on it, and number 4 is the yellow one, which is our video. Cool. And now for this cable, as this one here, that one, the yellow part plugs into our video input plug that I show you guys on the previous video, and this loose red wire, which is our power wire, we will connect it to reverse wire into our unit. It's a brown wire, it will say reverse on it, which in a few moments I will show you guys. So now we're just gonna drop it on the side here, and we're gonna just grab it from right underneath here. And of course we try our best to make sure they're nice and tidy, not in front of anything or anywhere, not to block anything, just nice and neatly at the side here, and then just drop it right in the bottom corner here. So here we go, that's ready to be plugged in. Cool with that, guys? So this is the little plug for the video input, for the camera, reversing camera input. So the one that we run from the top, now it's here, plug it in here. Do not worry about this one that says break, and do not worry about the rest of these 2 white ones that's being disconnected. For this little red one, connect to the brown wire which says reverse on it, and that white plug plugs in at the back of our new unit. Guys, so the brown cable that I was just telling you, so it's right here, a single brown wire, and it says reverse on it. So that will get connected to this one. Please do not ask me how to connect it, and if you don't know how to connect it, please take it to a auto installer. Just strip them together, wrap them together, put some soldering iron solder on it, and then put some tape on it, and that's all it is. And just put some tape on this as well, not to get loose. That's the cable that I was telling you guys to just make sure you put your entire mighty force on it. You can never break them because there is a huge metal beam at the back of this one. You cannot break it. So you got to just sort of force it as much as you can, just like that. See the distance? See how this punch has been pulled backward? And if it's not doing that, it means it's not all the way in. So it's just like less than 1 centimeter is left from the whole thing. The whole plug has gone inside, and it's less than 1 centimeter left out. And if it's not that far in for you guys, it means it's not in, and it will give you the comms error, communication error on the cluster right there in there. you will get some errors in there and the unit will not turn on, or even if it does turn on, some parts will not work. Okay, now as for this one, plugs in at the back of our new unit, which is right here. That's it. And that's our LCD cable, which plugs in here. Just like that. That's our reversing camera that we made it ready. It plugs into this point. Don't get mixed up with that because you can't plug them in any other one anyway, so that's all good. And there's a few other, that's our radio antenna adapter, which is plugging into this one, just like this. Clicks in, and that goes at the back of our unit, which is right here once we get closer to it. And that's our RCA input, which is auxiliaries and all that point as well. So these are our auxiliary inputs. And that's our, if your vehicle has a AUX input, which is right that one, so you find your AUX line in, and you plug it into either one. It makes no difference which one. Okay, so they're both AUX and they're both connected together. So just plug it in there, and that will connect at the back of our unit right here. So it just connects right here into that bigger plug, and that's it. Your AUX is connected as well. Now this little white plug, which is our CAN bus decoder programs, is quite important to make sure you don't forget it. It is very small, but make sure it is plugged in, because it's very important. If that's not plugged in, the unit will not work. Simple as that. So that's quite important. That's our CAN bus decoder, that little white plug with two wires. And then you've got our USB adapters. If you have a factory USB, the plug will be right on top here, and that will just plug into here, and it will give you a USB just like this, and you just tap them into one of these ones, and that's an extender. You extend it, and that little tiny one plugs at the back of the unit, and that's how you activate your factory USB port. But if you don't have the factory USB port, so just forget about that part, and just connect this one at the back of the unit, and you can run it into the glove box, which is from the side here. There's a huge hole. You just drop it from the side here and take it inside the glove box. Okay guys, so once you make everything nice and neatly at the back, just like this, run the cables on the two sides, perfectly nice, and then we just put it right against that, sliding things, and then just nice and easily slide it in. Make sure you guys that these cables are all dropping down. It's not actually in front of your brackets. No wires, no cables, no nothing, because first of all, if it is, it will not go in. But even if you force it to go in, it will cut your cables and something will not work, of course. Make sure all your cables are nice and easily, very nice and clean. Nothing in front of these brackets, these ones. So that's our main brackets right here. Add a focus, yep. So that one is our main bracket. Make sure there's no metals, nothing in front of it, and just force it all the way in. I'm not sure if you heard that click sound or not, but it just sits nice and flush here. If you take a look at it, and on this side, and on top. Okay, so here we go. Now we have installed our Apple CarPlay device and our Apple CarPlay software into the unit, which is basically this little device right here. Of course, you gotta just install the software onto the unit as well before you could actually use it. And then plug in your USB ports into this device, into that, and your mobile phone into this one. So it's just like a adapter, which I hope I had a few more hands, but it's okay. I'll get this right there, and that connects to it. That's it. And our mobile phone USB cable connects into this, just like that. And then we'll just go ahead and plug in our mobile phone. Done. And just obviously as soon as you plug it in, that just comes up automatically. It just says you want to connect it automatically. We just say yes, and that's our autoplay box, which we tap on it and it should just actually pop up on our screen with Apple in connection. Please wait, give it a few seconds, and that should just pop up on the screen. Here we go. So that is our Apple CarPlay. There it is. So Siri still works. Hi, can you tell us where is the closest McDonald's?
The closest one I see is McDonald's on Mount Derrimut Road in Derrimut and is moderately priced. Let me know if you want more information.
And that's about it. So all your messages, of course, your phones, your photos, and so on, whatever you got on it.